Why are you barking at everything the last few days? You sleepy? You a sleepy bean? Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be trying another palette from Sigil Inspired by Tammy Tanuka. This is the Wind Rose Grand Journey North-South palette. So this is one of the ones that I got as my birthday present from my partner. I will also be doing videos on the other ones. If you haven't seen my other videos, I will link them up here. So this is one of her book palettes. She does palettes in various sizes. I have two of the egg style, which are the 6-pan. I have the mini versions. And then I have two of these, and then I have one of her adventure palettes, which are the long skinny ones. I'm not sure which order these are gonna go up in. So I think this will probably be the first one of those three. So I'm really excited to try this today. I've already swatched a couple of the shimmers because I couldn't help myself, and I'm really excited. So I'm gonna do 2 looks, one on each eye, and then at the end of the month, I'll do a roundup review of all of them. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Colin, and I am a Latinx non-binary scientist and lover of makeup, especially indie makeup and colorful makeup. And I'd love to have you subscribe. I am fairly new here on YouTube, but I do have new content every week. So real quick, I want to give a mini update on the first 2 palettes that I've tried from Sigil Inspired. So I will, like I said, I'll link these above. I did a video trying both of them, one on each eye, and then I've worn them several times since, and I'll actually insert a couple pictures here that I posted to Instagram. So I have the Sand Gazelle and the Lavender Chinchilla in the mini egg size. I wish I had these in big, in like the full size. If she ever brings those back, I would be tempted to buy them. If I hit pan on these, I'm buying the full-size singles. But this is the Sand Gazelle palette. It's this really cute, beautiful dark olive, this kind of olive beige, and then 4 really pretty shimmers. Most of these are duochromes. And then this one's kind of a multi-chrome. The description is just the color of the morning sky. So it's kind of blue, it's pink, it's gold, it's just really beautiful. And this is the Chinchilla palette. It's 3 mattes, purple, and then like a lavender taupe and a pinky, and then these 3 shimmers. So these are all duochromes except for these 2 are duochromes. This is like a silver. This is a blue purple, but really intense one. If you can't, it's so intense that it just looks white as it reflects. And then this really pretty purple. I've worn these multiple times. Like I said, they are great. I definitely recommend these if they ever come back in stock, or if you see them on her Etsy or something. The quality is great. Even this little mini size, totally worth it. Takes very little shadow to actually work with, especially if you're lighter than me, you would need even less. And the shimmers are so beautiful. Like, they're the kind where you put them on and I immediately am like, oh, like they're just so pretty. And I've definitely already gotten compliments on the days that I've worn these to school, and people have noticed. So highly, highly recommend. And then for my makeup details, I'll have everything in the description box like normal. It's my normal base. And then for blush and bronzer, I used my Lethal ones. So these are singles that I've put in this little Lethal palette. This is the shade Tectonic. That's what I have on as bronzer all over my forehead and cheeks. The highlight I have on my brow bone and my nose is Isotope. And then I have this really pretty berry blush. Today, I don't remember the name, but I'll have it linked down below. And then for face highlighter, I used Kaleidos Mars Melter, which is the like red gold one. And then for lips, I'm using the new Lunar Beauty gloss in Bitchcraft, which is this really pretty kind of sheer red ruby color. So this is the outside of the package. It's got the front of a Viking ship right here. The back has all of the information about the palette, but it's all in Russian, so I have no idea what it says. A lot of the ingredients are in English because, you know, ingredients. And then the shades, she just numbers her shades, so the shade numbers are all here on the back. And then this is the inside. So this is one of her book palettes. So this is 10 shades. And then it's got 26 millimeter eyeshadow pans. So you can see that's a standard size. So you can see how tiny the minis are. So this will take me a very long time to go through, if ever. This I will probably hit pan on eventually. So this is 3 mattes, and then the rest are shimmers. So there's an iridescent like blue right here. There's a multi-chrome right here. Those are the 2 I had to swatch. 2 lighter mattes. This one's kind of gray, but with a little olive to it. Pink, and then this really pretty plum. And then there's this black sparkly shade. This really pretty plummy shade, and then these all look like duochromes. So I'm gonna swatch them on the back of my hand since I'm wearing long sleeves, and then do an eye look on either side. I know one of them is definitely gonna use the multi-chrome because it's just beautiful. It's like green, and so if I hold it here, I see green. If I hold it here, I see purple. So I wonder if I can capture that. And then there's some gold there too. Yeah, I'm not sure I'll be able to get that on camera very easily, but in the swatch you probably can. This also comes in a mini. It's about this big, and it just has 2 rows of 5 with some, I think the same kind of fish on it. And then these book palettes you can also buy individually. So this is technically 2 kind of color stories. So you can get each of the 5 pans individually in the full size or the mini as well. So there's lots of customizable options. These were launched earlier this year, I believe, and then they were out of stock for a while, and then she just recently brought them back. So they are all in stock on her website. I think some of them are on stock. So these are all on stock on her website, and then I know some of them are in stock on her Etsy. I'm not sure, but I'll link both below. I also want to mention these are a little more expensive on her Etsy than her website, just because Etsy charges a fee, I'm assuming, and so she adds that into the cost. But I think when I did the conversion from rubles to USD, this ended up being about $65, so not exactly cheap. So this was, yeah, like 60 bucks, which is like a Natasha Denona mini palette. Less shades than hers, but these are bigger pans, and then, you know, you've got multiple duochromes and multi-chromes and really special shades and attention to detail. So I totally think it's worth the price, especially from a small indie brand. So I'm gonna set this down to swatch because it'll just be easier that way, but I'm just gonna go across in rows and then do this one last. So the first 3 shades are 50, 51, and 52. So those are really beautiful. This is that plummy shade, this is the darker of the mattes, and this is one of those duochromes. Also, excuse how bad my nails look. I haven't had time to redo them. So I'm just gonna do, so that's the like purpley shimmer. That's really beautiful. Here's that dark kind of plummy matte. Very nice. And then here's one of those, you can see it's a little flaky. Here's one of those duochrome shimmers. So in the camera, looking at my camera, I only see like a champagne, like light gold kind of color. But if I look at my hand, it looks like it's the same color as this. So it kind of shifts between like a purpley plum to this greeny gold. It's really beautiful. I might be able to get it right there. Yeah, you can kind of see the shift there. Okay, and then the second row is 53, 19, and 54. So that's this pinky matte, this kind of taupey looking shade. Wow, that's really, really shiny. And then this one is like taupe green. She has a description on her website, but I just can't remember off the top of my head. So there's the pinky matte. It's really pretty. Very pale, but I think it's pigmented for being so pale. And then I will do the other ones on the side of my hand. So that is the taupe shade. That's really beautiful and really shiny. Like it made this one look shiny, but this one. And then, and there's that one. So yeah, that one is kind of a taupey base, like a plum taupe base. I don't know how to describe it. And then when I look at it from my angle, looking at my hand, I see like teal, and then I see greenish yellow when I look this way. So that's kind of a multi-chrome as well. There's definitely multiple shifts in it. Really interesting. Sigil is quickly moving up the ranks in my favorite formulas and color stories, because this is just so unique and there's so many special shades. So the next ones are 55, 56, and 57. So this is just kind of a cool tone grayish shade. And then this is a shimmery black. And then the very, very, very vibrant multi-chrome. And then on my pinky, I'll do this bottom shade, which is 58. So the only one that's out of order is 19. So you can see those here. So this multi-chrome is like bright purple, like a bright magenta-y kind of purple from one angle, and then bright green from another. So you can kind of see if I can get the shift. So here's that kind of taupey gray shade. Hi, Bean. Here is that sparkly black, which is very thick but really pretty. And then I'm gonna put the iridescent shade there. So that is like iridescent with a blue shift to it, like a baby blue. And then I'm gonna put the multi-chrome right here so there's a little more area. So you can see how green that is. It's so vibrantly green, but trying to just spread it all over. And then it's like bright magenta with the right angle. Let me see if I grab a mirror, if that'll help. So you can see in the mirror, oh, there it goes. You can see the magenta in the mirror. So those are all really beautiful. I can't wait to put these on my eyes. So I'm gonna go wash my hands and be right back. So I'm a little limited on mattes for this. So both are gonna be using this shade as the primary matte and then blend it out with one of the other ones. This is definitely gonna be one of them. And then I'm not sure on the other one. I might use these two up here, but we'll see. I will definitely be doing more looks with this. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, go follow me. It's always linked below and on the end screen. And I'll be posting more over the next couple weeks as I use them. So I'm gonna start with a detailed blending brush from Sigma, and I'm gonna go into that plummy matte from the top row. So I found so far with her shades, because the light mattes are so light, on my skin tone at least, that it definitely works better to put the dark shade first and then blend out the edges. I've done it both ways, where I used one of the light shades as a transition and then built the darker one on top. They both worked well. I just feel like I used a little less product this way, especially on those tiny, tiny palettes. So I already primed with my Urban Decay eye primer, and I'm just gonna stamp this darker shade in the shape I want right here. And then once I have the general outer shape I want, I'm gonna start blending it into my crease. So that's a really beautiful shade, and I find her mattes are really high quality, so they blend out really well. I've heard some brand, like Pat McGrath is one of those brands where they say some of the mattes, if you blend them well enough, it kind of looks like a gradient of like light to dark. And so far these work similarly for me. I haven't tried Pat McGrath yet, but I do have some on the way that I got as part of my birthday present. And then taking a fluffy brush, this is a diffused crease, an E38 from Sigma. I'm gonna go into the I'm gonna go to the pinky, the lighter pink shade, and you can see that's pigmented enough that it already lightened that little spot. So I probably could have done this as a transition, and I'm just gonna use that to make sure this inner part is nice and blended. Yeah, and that's all it takes, is my eyes always do that where it like wants to skip a little bit here, and then I take a fluffy brush and go a couple times and it's gone. So that already blended out beautifully, looks great. And then like normally I'm gonna take some NYX glitter glue on my little flat brush that I literally only use for glue. And I'm gonna put that all over my lid lightly. And I feel it does help with hers. I feel like the tacky base makes them just really shine. I've used them without the tacky base and they were still really beautiful. They just weren't as shiny. They were a little more subtle. So that's just a personal preference thing. So now I'm gonna take that really beautiful multi-chrome shade down here that's already kind of looking messy and pick some of that up. So you can see the green really well there. And I'm just gonna use that one all over my lid because I really want the shift to be visible. And that's like, oh, it's so pretty. The green looks like it's glowing. Like obviously I know it's reflecting my ring light and the light of the room, but it's so bright that it just looks like it's glowing. It's so magical. And I'm hoping that by having it all over my entire lid, you'll be able to see the shift of it. Okay, so that looks beautiful. That was really easy. I'm gonna put the same mats on my lower lash line and be right back. And then with a pencil brush, I'm gonna take the really iridescent shade and put that on my inner corner. That's so bright. The quality on these shadows is so beautiful. And I'm just gonna blend that into the other shade a little bit. I'm hoping you can see the shift. Okay, so I really love the way this looks. This is a look I will be repeating because it's so easy. This is why I think multi-chromes are amazing, is because you can do one shimmer all over and you get this really beautiful, impactful look. I'm gonna do basically, because the mattes, there's only the 3 mattes and the other 2 are so pale, I'm gonna do the same kind of burgundy on this eye, and then we'll just switch up the shimmers just to see how they affect things. Okay, so on this side, I decided to start with a transition shade of the pink versus starting with the dark, so you can kind of see, like, it's very pale and subtle, but you can still see it and it is really pretty, so you could definitely do this as a soft one and done shade, especially if you're lighter than me. I am a medium olive, or, you know, use it to blend the edges of one of the like softer shimmers or something like that. So definitely an option. You don't have to go smoky and colorful with the more plum shade. Okay, so the mattes are done on this side as well. I went a little softer than on this one. These are definitely very buildable, so you can have them a little soft, washed all over, or build up the pigment to make them dark. So I really want to use these 2 shades, especially together, but I think I'm gonna go with the black. This is something that I'll probably wear this week to school, so I'll have a photo of that and it'll be on my Instagram. But I don't think I'll be wearing a smoky black shadow to teach in during the day anytime soon. So I'm gonna give it a go now. So I'm gonna take that flat brush that I use for shimmers and pick some of that up. The black picks up really well. And then I just did the same glitter glue and stuff that I did on that side. Just going to pack this all on the outer half of my lid and see how it looks. See if we get any fallout from such a dark black shimmer. So it's beautiful. Put this over basically all of my lid. And then my edge right here is a little messy, but I'll clean that up with concealer when I go to do my eyeliner. This is beautiful. You could easily do a smoky look with just like this all over and blend with the like more gray tone. That is so pretty and literally no fallout. They're just so creamy. Oh, it's so good. Okay, so I'm gonna take a little bit of the gray-ish shade and blend the edges into the plum color. Add a little more coolness. And then using my pencil brush, I'm gonna take that kind of taupe shade from the middle, and I'm gonna put that right here on my inner corner and then blend it underneath and onto the little bit. And that looks so pretty. It's so, I'm at a loss for words. It looks like literal metal on my eye. It's so pretty. So I'm just gonna do that here and then take the brush I did the black on and use that to kind of blend the two together right here. Also, I feel like this iridescent shade packed on top of this black is gonna be so nice. I can't wait to try that. See, picking a white magnetic palette for a bronzer was not the smartest move. But I feel like, especially when I wear black, I look way more pale and I don't look as olive, and then I put something white near me and you're like, oh, there it is. Okay, so that is beautiful, was super easy. The hardest part was deciding what to use. So I'm gonna go clean up the edge right here, put mascara and stuff on, and I will be right back. Okay, so I'm back and these are the finished looks. And I'm happy I'm almost done because the sun is starting to go away and I wanna take photos of these, but I'm so happy. So I used my Haus liquid eyeliner on the top, my Urban Decay mascara. I've tried a few other mascaras and so far this is the only one I really like. I do want to try the Rare Beauty one if anybody's tried that. I know they sell a travel size for like $11, so I'll probably buy that soon. But on this side, I added the shade Pride from Haus, which is a really pretty purple with sparkle in it. Thought it would work well with these mattes. And then on this side, I picked Empire, which is an emerald green with sparkle in it. But because of my olive undertone, this always tends to look a little blue, but I thought it would work well with the blue and green. So I'm really happy with this so far. Just like the other two, the mattes are really pigmented but blend really well. Even the darker shades, the light shades work beautifully. The shimmers are all, I mean, this is now one of my top 5 shimmer formulas. It's so beautiful. I love this multi-chrome. I love this iridescent inner corner. This black is really, really beautiful and was super easy to use. I've tried other blacks kind of like that and they did not look as nice and I had a lot of fallout. I have literally 0 fallout anywhere on my face from any of these. So that's just, they're just so good. So I've used all 3 of the mattes now, and then I've used 1, 2, 3, 4 of the shimmers. So I just got these ones up here left to try. So I'm gonna be rotating through this and the other ones that I just got for school, especially these kind of shades are pretty easy to pull off for a quick, impactful look before I go teach. So I will give you an update later on what I think of all of them, but so far I would definitely say this is worth it. Especially if you don't think you'll go through this whole thing, you can always get the minis, or if one of the 5 pans has all the shades you want in it, you can do that. Or she does sell them as refills, so you can always buy the single shades that you want. So I love that. Okay, so I just had to pop back in and say, after wearing these for a while, this green looks really beautiful and wet, but also I added the iridescent blue shade that I put here on top of the black, and it's so pretty. I'm gonna add a little more. I have no words for how much I love this. I'd love to hear your feedback and thoughts on this palette. I can't wait to use the other 2 that I have, and I can't wait to see what she comes out with next. She just sneak peeked. I think she's working on like 6 new egg palettes, and One of them is a toad with like grungy greens in it, and it looks really cute, and one's a snake with really interesting green. I can't wait. I have a feeling this is going to be one of those brands that she launches something and I immediately buy it. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of the week, and I will see you all in my next video.